Alright, continuing on in the Sequel-A-Thon, just a fair warning. I got a bit of a cold going on, I got a sore throat. So I may sound a little off, and I may, I'm going to take breaks here and there. I don't know. But we are continuing this Sequel-A-Thon, and we have Killjoy 3. Excuse me. But, just a brief history of me and the Killjoy movies. Back a couple years ago now, I think it is, I did a full moon-a-thon where I did a big marathon of full moon movies. Killjoy was one of them. I was going to start up again. I basically officially ended, originally I should say, and then I think it was Subspecies 3 was the last one that I did, and then I did Killjoy 2, intending to continue, restart up the full moon-a-thon, and after that, I did, nope, done. Couldn't continue. I will do more. I've always wanted to do more full moon stuff, but it seems I waited too long because Killjoy 3 is the only of the sequels, I should say. I think 1 and 2 are on there that are on Tubi, so unfortunately I won't be able to do Killjoy Goes to Hell or Killjoy's Psycho Circus. But we are going to talk about this one, and it's weird. So I heard going in, I've watched Fedora's video. He's always said, hey, I watched the first 2 that he did. And he's like, the third one is actually not bad. And I was like, what? Because the first 2, you don't know. The first 2 I said was that piece of shit. And now I will say, not to give it some thought, and, I would put it in the category of so bad it's good. I didn't have my rating system out then just by numbers, but I think I gave it a 1. I think I would give it a so bad it's good. Because there's so much stupid shit in it that it's so bad it's good. But, Killjoy 2, a movie where the title character doesn't show up until 40 fucking minutes in, no, that's gonna fry in hell. Because, no. But, with Killjoy 3, the story is that this college professor guy has summoned Killjoy for some reason. Killjoy arrives and he creates a posse, that being Punchy, a big fat clown bodyguard thing, Freak Show, a somewhat conjoined mime character, and Betty Boop, who is his girlfriend. But because this guy leaves, they all disappear into some other world, and then these group of college students become the victims. So first and foremost, I want to say that when it comes to Killjoy himself, Trent Haga played him in the third one, plays him here, again, but I guess he actually said he was embarrassed to play the character in the second film. Well, that's because they had him playing the character in the way he was in the first film. Here, they actually changed the character. They fixed a few problems. By giving him an entourage, a crew, a posse, so to speak, there's more you can do than just have Killjoy going around. You can have different clowns attacking different people, and they do. You do. Also, Killjoy is shown right away in the film, and his performance is a lot better, and the makeup and the look of him is also a lot better. When you first see him, he doesn't have the hair, he has the horns. And then later he has the hair back, and you can see that maybe, he has the hair to cover up his horns. Just so you know, on Tubi, it's known as Killjoy the Demon Clown. That's actually the third one. I think it's also called Killjoy's Revenge in some places. I don't know. But I think it was done very well. There is a more seriousness to it. They tried to add more seriousness to the second one, but still had Killjoy acting like the Angel Vargas version from the first film. It didn't work. Here, there's some comedy in it, but it works with the seriousness as well. Our main characters are terrible, I guess. The actors themselves are not very good. Like, we don't get any background for the characters. We know that the character Roger, with a J by the way, is a football player because he's carrying around a football when we first meet him. Oh, and we know that Erica, Sandy, our main character, Sandy's best friend, likes to sleep naked because she says it. We know that Zilla, yes, his name is Zilla, likes Erica, but that never goes anywhere. And here's the thing, when we're first introduced to our characters, right, there are some hidden things in this that if you pay attention, you can find there's some hidden full moon stuff, apart from a full moon being shown. But when we first introduced to our characters, there's a cop there who was played by the same guy who plays Punchy. He he tells there's like a party at the professor's house. He says, "Hey, everyone's got to leave. You got to knock it off and keep it down," stuff like that. And so, but during this scene where we're introduced to the characters and the cops there, and actually for a little bit longer afterwards, you can hear in the background, "Run, run, run as fast as you can," which is the theme song from Ginger Dead Man 2. And before you say anything, maybe I'll do that one. The problem with that is Ginger Dead Man doesn't stop at Ginger Dead Man. It's the same reason why I can't do like Evil Bong 2, although I might do that for a specific date this month. But if I start doing the sequels, like I could do like Ginger Dead 2 and 3 and probably be fine, but there's more connection with Evil Bong because eventually there's Evil Bong versus Ginger Dead Man. And then he goes into that world. There's even Ginger Weed Man. So I don't know. It's complicated. I don't want to do all those sequels. I may do the 2s though. I may do Ginger Dead Man 2 and I may do Evil Bong 2. Ginger Dead Man 3, I tried watching once before I even knew what the movie was. It was on Netflix. We got 5 minutes in. We saw that there was a Silence of the Lambs parody, and we turned it off. We couldn't. No. Anyway, so we're introduced to the characters. And then later, that's playing in the background. And run as fast as you can. I was like, hey, wait a minute, that's that. And then later, they were watching TV, and on the TV is Puppet Master 3. So, before you ask about those, one I haven't done in the first one. There's 13 of those fuckers. 14 if you count Blade. The puppet Blade, not Wesley Snipes' Blade. I don't know if I'll ever get to those. I could possibly do the first one at some point, but anyway, so the next morning comes, and they find a mirror underneath a thing. Now, from what we found out later, who delivered the mirror? Was it the professor? We find out that he specifically tricked them into going in there separately to distract Killjoy. So did he leave the mirror? Or was it someone associated with Killjoy? Because here's the thing. Can they leave the mirror? I don't know. But Zilla is the first victim, so to speak. He doesn't die right away, but he's taken in the mirror where he has a boxing match with Punchy. He gets his ass kicked. And if you're thinking this movie is not trying to pad for time, then you don't know. There's shots where it's just like, moon, And then, like, you see the next morning, it's padding for time. There's a scene that just makes no sense to me, and it makes me scratch my head. While Zilla's getting his ass kicked, it cuts to upstairs to Erica because she sleeps in the nude. So we see her taking her top off and her bra off. The only problem is the camera is just above here. It cuts off just where her tits would be, which means no nudity. But it's a scene of a woman taking her top off, and they left it in the film. Now, I'm not complaining because there's no nudity. I'm complaining because this scene doesn't need to be there. If there is no nudity, why are we watching a scene of her taking her top off if we see nothing? Again, even though I would love to see some, I'm not complaining that there isn't. I'm complaining the fact that that scene is still there, even though there isn't any. Why is it there? This movie is an hour and 15 minutes long. Guess they just need to pad out the runtime a little bit. And they do that. The professor eventually returns. And they make a big deal earlier about how there's no mirrors, and now there's that mirror. And he says, okay, so we have to go in, and we have to stop Killjoy. But they each go in separately. Because, I've got to mention, Erica gets taken captive, and they're going to eat Erica for dinner. They're basting her, still not showing any nudity, even though she's naked, in a big soup pot thing. In fact, you could see, if you pay closely enough, that she has a white thing covering it, like a white tank top thing covering it, but they didn't cover it with the slop stuff enough so you could see it. But it doesn't make any sense because we saw her take her top off and her bra before slipping on another top over it, so she wasn't wearing a bra. So what is that? Doesn't make any sense. But yeah, they each go in separately because if they went in together, we wouldn't be as long. So Roger with a J goes in first, and he gets found by Batty Boop, who seduces him. And I'm trying to look if she was naked and just painted stuff on, or if it's like a very tight latex suit thing. I couldn't tell. Although there is one shot, I swear to God, like, I don't know, like her nipples are fake, but I swear to God, there's one shot where you could see the outline of her vajayjay. I'm just saying. Just saying. I haven't been able to find a picture of it. There is one picture, but it's blurry. I found it on like Google, but it's blurry, so I can't tell if it's just like a paint on or something. I don't know. It's for research purposes only, I swear. But then, yeah, Zilla goes in and he once again gets Punchy, but he talks Punchy out of killing him by saying, you don't have to do what he says. He doesn't need to abuse you and stuff like that. Free the power. Fuck the man, that kind of thing. And then Sandy goes in and she finds Killjoy. Killjoy wants to smash. And she notices that Batty Boop is watching. So, to make her jealous, she offers him consensual sex, but he's a demon clown, so who knows? And she's a virgin, so, demons, they can't say no to violating a virgin. So, he goes for it. But Batty Boop gets pissed off, and he explodes Batty Boop. And then we go to dinner, during which the professor finally shows up, and he has a confrontation with Freak Show. And there is a legitimately scary moment with Freak Show earlier in the film, where Roger with a J is looking out the window, and you see it's like, and it's very creepy, handled very well. Legitimately the only scary part of the movie, I think. But anyway, yeah, he's there, and he said earlier that he's going to say Killjoy's real name, and it'll take away his power. But he doesn't say it. He allows them to eat Erica and kill Roger with a J with a big mallet before finally saying Killjoy's real name, Faradig. Faradig. So he's an Irish clown, is he? Yes. We also find out the professor is the father of Michael from the first film, and that this film takes place 10 years after the events of the first film, which means that the second film is not canon. I don't know. Because I think that took place far longer in the future because of characters who were young when the story happened and they were in their 30s. I don't know. I don't know. Yes, and it is revealed that he did use them as a distraction. Again, we gotta have a reason for the pad at the wrong time. So yeah, he used them as a distraction. And he says fair dig, and it weakens him, but Killjoy summons the spirit of Michael because once you summon Killjoy, your soul is part of him. Copying from Freddy Krueger, I see. Then he's able to kill the professor and take his soul too. So, our last two, Zilla and Sandy, who in this movie is spelled with a Y, but in the next one is somehow spelled with an I-E. I don't know, according to Wikipedia. But they start laughing, which freaks him out, and he starts to do things to make them legitimately laugh, and eventually get Zilla to stop laughing. He kills Zilla, she wouldn't stop laughing, and she's able to get to the mirror to escape, and then Killjoy blows up, and then we cut to Sandy in a mental institution because she can't stop laughing, and they think she murdered her friends, which and the professor, but there's no bodies, so why would they even come to that? But shouldn't they say that they're missing because she won't stop laughing? She can't explain, and the movie ends. So overall, not a good film per se, but not as bad as the first. I'm gonna give it a middle of the road. I can't say this is good. It's the best so far. I haven't seen the other two, but it's the best so far. But it's the middle of the road. It's the middle of the road, as most full moon movies would be. But yeah. Except for Subspecies, I would legitimately give that movie a pretty good. Because that's probably their best film I've seen. That's before they decided to go all campy, which is what this one was in. This was more serious than the camp before, but, you know. So yeah, what are your thoughts on Killjoy 3? Leave in the comments below. Next, it's time to finish a franchise that I started. I reviewed the original. I've reviewed the most recent sequel movie. Now it's time to do the two movies in between. So join me and be my victim. Until then, make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Thank you for watching. I'm Scotty, and I'll see you in the next one.